I'm Dorothy Godin, broker of Remax Crown Realty in Sudbury, and welcome to Thursday Thoughts. Let's talk about home inspections. I like home inspections. I think it's a great opportunity to find out more about the house you're going to purchase. We go into a house for a showing and, we spend 15 minutes there and then we decide we're going to buy it or not buy it. I spend more time buying a purse and a pair of shoes than I do buying a house, which is kind of insane when you think about it. So doing a home inspection means you're back in that house for 2.5 hours, and you're going through all of the systems. You're learning about that house. And I think as a buyer, you get to know your house a little bit better. You get to look at things you need to budget for in the future in terms of maintenance and repairs. And then you also get to, have some leverage when you need to renegotiate if you find something major. I set up the expectation with my buyers. We're not looking for ugly wallpaper or minor repairs that a fix-it guy can do. We're looking for something major that affects value, and I can help you with that. I can look at a repair that needs to be done and tell you, does this affect your value? The fact that the furnace that you thought was going to last you for 15 years probably is on its last legs. That's a big deal. Foundation problems, that's a big deal. So when you're doing the home inspection as a buyer, go in with the thought of, I need to learn as much as I can about this house. My home inspector is going to help me do that, but I'm looking for something major that would maybe change how I feel about this house. So what if we find something major? If we find something major, there's a couple of things we could do. We could ask the seller to fix the problem. And here's my issue with that. If you ask the seller to fix the problem, you want to make sure that your clause is airtight, that, it has to be done professionally. We have to show receipts, and it has to be to the buyer's satisfaction. That's if I'm working for the buyer. The problem with that is, what my buyer thinks is satisfactory may be totally different from what I think or what the seller thinks. So we may have a problem there when it comes to closing that, the seller in his frame of mind, the seller has done a corrective, fixed a job. He thinks or she thinks it's great, but your buyer steps back and says, no, I wanted it done this way. So I think the better alternative might be to, as a buyer, you bring in a professional, you get an estimate of the cost, and then we ask for a price amendment to take care of that repair, and then as a buyer, you take care of it. Alternatively, you may decide that this is just too much and you don't want to deal with this and this is not the house for you, and you walk away from the house, and that's fine too. It's that's why we have the clause there to protect you, so that when you see everything about the house, you have an opportunity to sit back and decide, do I want to move forward or not? From a seller's perspective, we don't like to see these list of repairs. It's very annoying. It doesn't make the seller feel good that, you've negotiated a price and now you're coming back and you want to list all these things done. So to eliminate that, or maybe not eliminate, but to minimize, perhaps we do a home inspection prior to listing the property. And that does a couple of things. Number one is that you as a seller can now make any minor repairs that you need to make. And if there's something major, we can look at that and say, okay, now that we know that there's this problem, does it change the price that we're going to go to market with? And perhaps it does. And the other thing is we make that home inspection available to all the buyers, so that the buyers now have full disclosure about what this house is. They may still do their own home inspection, and we encourage that. But now when they come to us with repairs and requests for repairs, we can say, listen, you saw the home inspection. You knew what was happening here. You should have, reflected your price with what we've given you in terms of disclosure. So I think moving forward, I am going to encourage all my sellers to do a home inspection before, and hopefully make the process a little bit smoother. I hope you're having a great week. As always, you can reach me at Dorothy Godin at remax.net or 705-561-2360. Fall is the second busiest market, and October has been great so far.